thinking about what happens to in crisis is that usually many of us, or often many of us, think that you just go to the spiritual first, okay? And what really happens, what we learned in pastoral crisis intervention was that it's like a boulder being pushed into a pond. There's a ripple effect whenever there's a crisis. So the first thing that you have to look at is physical, what goes on with the body. The second is psychological, and the third is the spiritual. So sometimes, as believers, we would like to think that we're just going to come in there and pray and help a person connect to God, and actually that may be not possible until they get fed, till they're calmed down, till they get rest, and then some of the emotional needs, fears that have taken over, then they get to a point of being able to connect to God. And so when you're looking at a team of people, you can look at those gifts of prophet, servant, teacher, exhorter, giver, ruler, and mercy, and some of those gifts concentrate more on the body, some concentrate more on the soul, and some concentrate more on the spirit. And so that would be an important thing to consider. And you would want to look at your team that way. Who are some people that I could call in at this point that could do the preliminary work, and then follow up with the people that can deal with the psychological things and then the spiritual things. So that would be an important factor as well. And God is such a great God to give us so many combinations of gifts. And when we have all of these gifts in our spirit, doesn't mean that He can't pull those out in us in those times. So it doesn't mean that you're inadequate if you're the only one that sees something. But as you move forward and as you speak to the others on your team, it will activate some parts of them as well. So that we have an effect on each other spiritually, whether we realize it or not. When we're together, God starts pulling things out of us together in community that we don't experience if we're only on our own. And that's what's awesome.
Can I share a story? I remember years ago I worked with hospice. And I worked with a family. I was taking care of a father. And I worked for his daughter that lived in town. But his daughter from out of town would come in. And I knew, I had asked the Lord that he would die on my shift. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So that night that I went to work, and we knew it was close, but it had been close for 12 days. This man survived without any water, food. It was amazing. But I remember we got into that last part, and the daughter that I worked with that night, as a matter of fact, I woke her up and I said, his breathing's changed. And she came in, and she's a nurse, and he passed away, and she told me what to do, and when we were all finished, she said, where did you get your training?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I think we all step back, and we've all done things, and we don't know how we did it because we don't have the goods, except that we have the goods because we are God's resource. And I guess we're going to be much more proactive to say, what are my goods, and then how do I prepare my community? Because I know now that I need to get with my neighbors, and we need to draw up a plan for our community. Okay, where are we going to meet? We'll meet together, we'll see our resources, and then we'll go from there. We need to have a family plan, but also we need to have a neighborhood plan. So I'm encouraging us to look. We have life experiences that we've already walked in this. Some we didn't have words for it, spirit forward, but we've got the goods of God. And so I'm excited because now I have words for it. I can put it on shelves, I can label it. And I know, I mean, really, it's really, we've got the goods, and now God's saying, okay, people, my people, rise up because I'm giving you access to a world that doesn't have what you have.
I'm a giver, redemptive gift, and so creating access is I'm thinking about this meeting, and not a lot of people are here, and this is the first time on Kentucky soil, being a giver state, and it's a birthing, and this is a teacher city, so we're creating a prototype. And so I'm thinking this community center, they have a newsletter that goes out all over the city to all the 501c3s. So immediately, I'm thinking, we need to have this meeting. We're practicing. And this meeting will help us begin to set up and teach people more than just a family plan, a neighborhood plan, and a community plan, so that we can be more equipped and more skilled at our, and this is a Renaissance city. There are lots of young couples here. They're moving here. This medical facility is phenomenal here. So I just think that we have tapped into something really remarkable with just the core of people that are here today. Isn't that good? That's good. Yes.